Project Manager's Guide, June 1st, 2000. The organization project manager responsibility. Term Air Force Project Manager, AFPM, generally referred to as Major Command of the level manager of the military construction project. The Major Command of the base serves the Air Force Project Manager for the non-appropriated funded by the NFAP. The project with the project, depending on the manpower availability, local policy, the Air Force Center for the Environmental Excellence and serves as the AFP program manager in the most continental United States, the military and family housing, and the project that guided youth that formed the Air Force program management that describes responsibility associated with the duty supervising the AFP and project management, regardless if the entity filling in this role, the required command with the host command are the same with the major command with most military projects requiring command with the host command are different and involved with the major command generally allocated with the planning, design, construction responsibility on the project of the project basis. For the reason of the guide will use the singular item of the major command if they identify the major command responsibility, leave it in the major command to determine what works best for their organization. The Air Force Management Program Management for the design construction ultimately responsible for the Air Force Office of Civil Engineering for ensuring the Air Force achieve its goals, objectives, quality, maintain facilities delivered on time within the budget. The Air Force Program Manager must have technically solid background, be capable of maintaining positive rapture, and the senior leaders be available, accessible on the continuous basis, be able to keep all the team members motivated and informed, to be experienced with all the levels of the Air Force organization, be only able to occasionally accomplish the impossible. And Air Force Program Manager that defers functional management. The functional manager is generally concerned with the only particular area of the expertise. The Air Force Program Manager must only know the functional area requirements, must also know that those of the user's air bills, civil engineering, major com, the U.S. headquarters at U.S. Air Force, ILL, in civil engineering design agent and the construction agent of the Air Force program manager must ensure that all the requirements for of any other organization associated with the project are blended into the project conception to all the concerned Air Force project manager, program manager coordinates the planning, quality, maintainable of the project schedule, budget in order to accomplish the time and manner. The Air Force project manager should possess attributes of leadership, credibility, sensitive organizational expertise. Air Force Manager and Project Manager of the facility resolution conflicting demands of the different organization ensure that everyone works together with the team provided with the complete the functional facilities. Air Force Project Manager is responsible for keeping the civilian engineering and engineering design division headquarters at AFILC and the major com civil and engineering base civil engineering and user informed. Air Force Program Management implements the delivery quality facilities will increase the Air Force combat training capabilities. Each project will be presented with a new the challenge of knowing the way, when and where they look up the rules, which the person to ask is important to know themselves, the rules themselves, the schedule, sometimes something unavailable, the user then change the need, maybe the question and the cause problem, resolve with the key is having the right attitude, adjustment can often be made, later bringing the project back to May original schedule. One project that has been identified with the base that must be approved with the priorities official year. They recommended the major com the headquarters of the U.S. Army Force Engineering Corps. The project requirements is validation with the headquarters of the U.S. Air Force ILEC. The proof of the Air Force cooperative structure of the USAFC ILEC notifies the major com the proof of the project with issuing the planning of the instruction. The planning instruction is informal notification of the major command with the bearing of the needed with the Title 10 U.S. Standard Code 28007 action of the start of design subject to any limitations started with the program planning instruction. The headquarters U.S. Army Force ILEC may restrict the level of design and expected design fees, but they exceeded with the $500,000 requiring Title 10 U.S. Standard Code 28007 notification Congress because of the unusual circumstances. Otherwise, the major com determines the authorities at appropriate level of design based on the use upon a designated availability level conference of the project that will be approved with the budget process. The major com issue the design instruction and will be approved with the budget process. The major com issue with the design instruction may be authorized the design agent to initiate the design activity. See Chapter 9 for the unique and non-appropriated funds requirement military construction process. It is important for the Air Force program managers to understand basic element of the military construction cycle as depicted in Figure 1. The cycle consists of the planning program, design and construction elements. The guide focuses on the design construction elements, military construction process shown in the Figure 1.2 and 1.3 was developed and encourage better definition of project requirements, greater customer involvement. Use of the parametric costing and estimating to this process confirmed with the project site location, estimated construction costs, sufficient details, and ensure the project major com has been an executable project. The advanced planning of the phase of the project is outlined with requirements, the management plan, the ramp requirements, and management plan. Consists of the two interrelated parts with requirement documentation, the project management plan, the requirement documented with the detailed description, project requirement, site condition identification, specific typical cost, the parametric cost estimate of the development based on the project of the requirements that serve as the basis determined by the Department of Defense Form 1391 programmed amount. The PMP identified the project management team of the project strategic decision, including who will design the project when the project is needed and the acquisition method. Alright, when the requirements and management plan is prepared, all the environmental requirements must be identified in National Environmental Policy Act documentation. Such environmental impact analysis process, the EIAP must be initiated. These ramps initiated and identified as an advanced planning activities must be paid for the operation and maintenance and for other further funds rather than planning and designing funds within accordance with the Title 10 U.S. Standard Code 2854. The base of the major com should initiate with the ramps at all activities at project acceptance submitted to the headquarters USAF Army Force and Engineering Corps per annual military construction call letter and installed with these requirements and management planning activities does not require the headquarters of U.S. Air Force and Engineering Command approval and issuance of the initial program instruction. However, the ramp must be completed by the time the project is submitted with the headquarters USAS Force for the military construction program. The major com field designer instruction should be issued to the design manager. If a different person from the Air Force project manager no later than 30 days prior to the completion of the ramp, with the permit with the design manager of the authorized design agent to participate in the preparation of the PMP, which is project management plan, and allowing initiation of administrative action leading up to the straight of the design. Major com must issue the field design instruction to the DA, most frequently used for the U.S. Army Corps Engineering Navy Facility Engineering Command before the pre-definition conference. Also, the resource development must be provided with the Air Force program management prior to the pre-definition conference to allow the adequate preparation time for the DA, architectural engineering, and from the DA in-house staff. In Chapter 3, the A&E Service Acquisition may issue the examiner to determine that the in-house design resource is unavailable to the Air Force program manager with familiarity with the A&E section process is critical with the A&E selection process. The begin with the Air Force program manager has received the proper notification since the A&E selection must be regulated phase of the design and construction process. The Air Force program manager understands the fundamentals of prerequisites of the selection process that may be ranged with the form a simple selection of the pre-qualified A&E to the most involved with the requirements of advertising for the submittal with the A&E qualifications of the Commerce Business Daily. Air Force program manager must work with the DA to establish the optimal delivery method of the project with the design build build process have been accepted with the project practice within the government for the years. The design build relatively new to the federal acquisition system within the 99 revision of the federal acquisition regulation. Design build with the contract award and negotiated process rather than based on low bid. The Air Force program manager must be aware of the preparation of preliminary design request for the proposal document, the source of selection process, the event of the management of the design build contract requirements are different, but the traditional design build and bid and build process. See Chapter 8 of the design build facility acquisition for additional information. As the design starts, the Air Force program manager will be responsible for the building appropriate team for the project, with the Air Force program manager should learn the roles of each of the players of the product is necessary to the successful project. Actual design start of the beginning of the pre-definition conference meeting is most critical with the establishing clear direction for the project manager and project of the project team. For the allowing pre-definition conference and notice to proceed with the selected with the A&E and the DA and the house staff at the design all the efforts and also accelerates conceptual of the design process with broken into the two phases. The first phase of the project definition of the project process. Project requirements are determined with conceptual plans for developing the project parametric cost estimated with validated with the A&E. Second phase of the contractor documentation development through the continuing dialogue project reviews the conceptual documentation and develop into the working drawing specification finally into the contracting documentation using solicited bids the construction. Now in the construction contract award process, the construction process itself, the next step, but to ensure the successful Air Force project management of the project, the Air Force project management roles during the construction significantly diminished. However, the understanding of this process is a critical process in changing order of the accomplishing project closeouts. Chapter 9 is non-appropriately funded projects intended for the definite guide with the non-appropriately funded projects must be does not attempt to relate the non-appropriately funded project funded requirements within the military construction process to alert the Air Force program manager particular areas of concern. Non-appropriated funded process with unique requirements relating to the build, funding, the reporting, oversight, military guidance, and enhance the Air Force program and understanding the AFI 32102, 122, planning of the program for non-appropriated funded facility project, the AFI 34201, using the non-appropriated funds AFI 34205, non-program of non-appropriated funded facilities requirements AFI 34209, non-appropriated funded financial management, and the accounting of all these AFI relate to planning and programming construction of non-appropriated funded projects. The guide will be incomplete with the decision cost of the control. Cost of the control is greater than important through the entire process, especially since the Air Force program is the focal point of the most common cost of control measure of the military construction. The guidance is consulted with the number of the areas of the military construction process. Numerous documentation have been referenced throughout as well. The appendix and those wishing to greater deal to particular topics. For an overview of the program design and construction process of the mill construction project, see Figure 1-2 for this illustrates the various activities, submittal dates, and the approval process associated with the project submitted with the biannual president budget. The date that is shown in Figure 1-2 represents the project submitted with the fiscal year 2002-2003 mill construction program, so either the latest headquarters of the U.S. Air Force and Engineering Corps annually military construction call letter for the additional guidance and requirements. Flip the view. All right, you have your planning and program BC and user and facility boards going through to the BCE, the Department of Defense 1391 Military Com, CE, Defense Design Manager, ILCD, the military design, and these are really bad drawings. Let's try this one. All right, this is the program and design process. The fiscal year 2002, military construction 2002. Fiscal year submitted by the unrestricted priorities. Fiscal year of 2002, 1391 of the LEC by September 24, 1999. Military construction IPT priorities. Fiscal year of the project November 1999. 5 weeks, 6.5 months. Programming official year of the 2002. Submittal of the 2002-03 of the OS Office Secretary Department. Submittal of the fiscal to the 02-03 Congress February. Congressional Conference of May September. Official year of the bill to sign. Between the programming and the official year, you have the rapid parametrics estimate final of the 1391 Ward E contract. Oh shit. I don't know what the checkered flag is. The design official year of the development program development. Advertisement award design facility advanced award fiscal year of Congress added submittal unconstrained priorities fiscal year of 2003 and ILC to December 1999 mill construction IPDI priorities fiscal year of 2003 project December 1999 best 55 programming fiscal year of 2003 starts out with the 16 months from the fiscal year 2 to fiscal year 1 to the design year of the fiscal year 03 to advertised and assigned fiscal year 03. I don't know if you read that right, but these are pretty bad, like hard. Maybe my vision's gone blurry. Major project milestone and phase of the military construction command, design and bid build, rapid requirements applicated management plan, PD completed competitive advertised construction award with the BOD, the financial completion milestone 6. Design and build and milestone ramp completion and the PD completion the milestone 2 REP RF request for proposal completed with milestone 3 milestone 4 construction contract award BOD milestone 5 and the financial completed milestone 6. Planning phase of the A&E design instruction 1 to 3% of the design instruction PDC, the office management project of the planning of the requirements management, planning of the ramp that has 2% requirements, the documentation project description, functional, architectural, technical requirements, fixed site parametric cost project management plan, the joint affiliated design agent with the strategic design, including the in-house service of agricultural engineering, the architectural engineering design determination project, risk acquisition, strategical scheduling project, the packaging, small disadvantage business participation, decision listed names and organization, all level project team members, local all environmental requirements, and initiate the National Environmental Protection Agency documentation, prior to the Department of Defense Form 1391. All right, with the phase protection for AE awards, the 14 to 15% of the DSM, and the speculative advertised with phase, the design completed the advertised authority and advertised with the 16 to 100% of the DSN bids and open authority to award. This is the planning design with the military construction product of the project, the definition of the product phase, definition phase, the validation of the RD documentation schedule, design for the site plan with the utility layout, architecture for the floor plans and the facility with elevations, narrative description, major engineering system, unique tell the design for the teachers, environmental issues, the cooperative and maintainable, and how the project is linked with the base of the comprehensive plan with the environmental investigation and soil boring, the destructive testing for the lead-based paint and the asbestos, etc. When the periodic cost of estimated with the breakdown work structure, the supplementals level initiated the cost of the control during the design process, resolve all the scope and the requirements of the cost difference between the RD and the project definition, establish the system level design and work based structure to control the budget, costing during design. Also, planning of the design military construction fund ready to advertise the project definition completed with the value of an engineering setting completed with the required planning and specification minimum of 90% complete with the cost control during the design project completed with the advertised commercial business daily announcement, request for the proposal of the project definition that completed with the adding design documentation completed if required project specification completed prescriptive performance selective evaluation criteria completed with the advertising commercial business daily announcement. And also lastly, the construction funds period is a warranty phase, which is construction awarded with the physically complete in 12 months. The construction founded by the Requirements and Management Plan Milestone 1 is required prior to the submission of the Department of Defense Form 1391. Crucial for both sides design, building the project within congressional requirements filed with sufficient knowledge of the project with developing good cost estimates, sufficient programs to design and ensure the obligation of the construction funds in the year of the appropriation. Chapter 2, Before Design Starts.